is today, September 30th, and open that folder up and open this personal investment. I'm going to double click on it here. Oh, I don't want it open in here. I want it downloaded. How do we download? Here we go. Okay, so go like this and download it when you open it. Click right there. I want it downloaded on your computer so that you can save it into your files for period 5 if you have on your desktop or on your computer a folder made for period 5. I want this guy in there because we're going to be making reference to this in the future. So go ahead and everybody download that. I'll give you a few seconds here. You're in the editable version using Microsoft Excel. So click download. It'll put it right down here. If for some reason you don't see it down in the left corner, click on your folder, open up your folders and look for downloads, your download folder, and that's where it'll be. All right. Now I'm going to ask some of you to share your screens. I'm just going to call on you guys randomly. I'll pick a name off the roster, and I'm going to have you guys share your Excel spreadsheet with the rest of the class. Go ahead and go back to my window. Go back, click on your WebEx window so that you can see my screen. And I just want to talk about this Excel spreadsheet for a minute. Let me check chat real quick. Is everybody good? Okay. All right. So enter your expected salary for each year. That's what this column is. Anything that's yellow you can change, and this dark yellow you can change as well, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But okay, percent of salary invested, 10%. So there's a formula for all of these that are just blank, that are white, that don't have yellow. Those are all formulas, and they will automatically update when we type into the yellows, the other ones. So let's assume this. You're a senior, you just graduate, you're 18 years old, you go get a job. Full-time, you're working 40 hours a week, and let's say that you're making minimum wage. Is minimum wage $12 now? Isn't that what it is in Colorado? Pretty sure it's $12. Some of you are
it's
going.
It's like $12.50, $12.30.
I'm going to type in Colorado min wage. Oops. Thank you for pointing that out. One of you getting
$12.10.
So it's 12.10 or 12 something, but it's just over 12. Why does that say, 2019? Hey, Google, wake up. Look at Google. See, I don't trust Google anymore. They're getting too big. The company's getting too big. The only reason I use Google here at school is because of Chrome. Anyway, at home, I don't use Google anymore. I'm getting sick of them because they're also getting political, and they're banning certain speech, different types of speech, political speech, and that's wrong. They should let everybody speak. And I don't like how they're filtering people on YouTube and so forth. So I'm really getting sick of Google. All right, with Google, let's go in here. Let's see here, minimum wage increase for 2020. Okay, here we are. January 1st, effective January 1st, 2020, $12. Huh. 12 even. I expected it to be like 12.10 or 12.20 like you guys said. All right, well, we're going to go with 12. All right, so here's how it works. This Excel spreadsheet. If I graduate Coronado, I'm 18 years old, so I'm going to say by the time I'm 19, I've worked a full year now, sometime in my age of 19. I've worked a full year, and I've been working full time, and I'm making $12 an hour. How many hours do people typically work in a year? Well, I round 52 weeks. I round it down because some people, you take a little bit of time off. So I go down to 52 weeks down to 50 to make it easy. And then from 50, I multiply by the weeks would be 40 hours per week if you're working full time. So 50 times 40 is 2,000. So that's about 2,000 work hours. If somebody's working full time in 1 year, you work about 2,000 hours. So if it's 2,000, we just take that 2 that's out in front and multiply by the $12 an hour if you're getting $12 an hour. So 12 plus 12 is 24, and then add the 3 zeros again. So it's 24,000. All you have to do is whenever somebody says, I make $10 an hour, And if they're working full time, you can say, oh, I know how much you make in a year. You just double that first number, 10 and 10 is 20, and then add the 3 zeros. Oh, you make about $20,000 a year. So let's say I made $30 an hour. Quickly in your head, how much do I make in a year? If I'm working full time. 30 and 30 is 60, so I make $60,000 a year. So in this case, we're going to say 12 and 12 is 24. So we're going to say 24,000 you've made over the last year, and then hit enter. Now I want you guys to go type this 24, act like you just graduated. You didn't go to college. You just went and started working full time, and you made minimum wage, and you worked 40 hours a year. So everybody minimize my screen, go to your Excel file and do.
You guys put that in 18?
Yes. So number 5, on line 5, I want you to put it not in 18, in 19, because I'm assuming like you've just worked a full year after high school, like you graduated high school. So I'm starting at age 19. So the same box I did, which is a C5, I think it's right here, C5, year number 2.
Can I get to the Excel through the personal finance on Schoology?
Yeah. Okay, so you all have Excel. You all have typed in 24,000 right here and hit enter. Notice you do not have to type in the cents, and it automatically puts the zeros in there for you. All right, now, why does it say amount invested is only 2,400? Well, that's if you follow this rule that my spreadsheet, I created this spreadsheet and I designed it so that if you follow this rule, I learned this actually, the first time I heard this, I was in high school in a personal finance class. It was personal economics, they named it back then. And it was right here at Coronado, actually. And we had a guest speaker, and he came in and he was like, you guys, you're all going to be rich. You're all going to be rich. And he just kept saying, you're going to be rich. You're going to be rich. And everybody's looking at him like, this guy's kind of loony, because he was a guest speaker and he was so excited. And he was all, you're going to be rich. And he just kept saying that. And everybody in the class is like, well, what do we have to do? And then he's like, aha, finally somebody asked me. He goes, all you have to do is put away 10% of everything you earn for the rest of your life. And he goes, by the time you're 60, you'll be rich. None of us believed him. We were all like, yeah, whatever. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, he was absolutely right. Absolutely right, because I'm doing it right now. And it works. It's true. So 10%, here's the golden rule in investing. If you're disciplined enough that every time you get your paycheck, every week you get your paycheck, you just take 10% of it and put it in a savings account. And then at the end of the year, here's what you'd have. You'd have 2,400 saved up in that little savings account for investments. Then you have that check. Then you go to, I'm going to show you where you go here. Vanguard. This is the website that I have linked for right here. If we go back to this intro to investing, I put another link here, Vanguard. You guys don't have to open that up right now because I'll show you. I just wanted to put the link so that you guys have access to it later. But here's the website, and I want to talk about this. These are ETFs, exchange traded funds. These are the best deal. They're the lowest fees. So it's like buying an investment product that's going to give you a return on your money. It's a basket of stocks. So you're buying a variety of different companies, and they bundle it for you. And then that's why they charge you this, what's right here called an expense ratio, a little fee. Now, if I scroll all the way down, and don't worry, if you guys don't know how to look this up in 3 years, 5 years, 6 years from now, you know where to find me right here at Coronado. You guys come on back and say, Mr. G, what's that investment product you said we should buy, these ETFs or whatever it was? I can't remember what it was. You said a basket of stocks. You come back in and I'll show you this, and I'll show you how to invest once you start saving cash up. And you're going to let your money grow for you. So we're going to scroll way down until we find, mid stocks and large. Okay, we got small cap. These would be smaller companies. They bundle a bunch of small companies. Here's one that I own in real life. Where is it? I own this right here, VBK. I've got quite a few $1,000s in that one in my real money. And we're going to protect. Okay, and I also have here one in the mid cap. I also own, let's see here, which one do I own? It's the one that's the growth, mid cap growth, VOT. It's this one. I own this one as well with my real money. So let's just pretend we're going to invest in this one here. Now, mid cap, those would be like mid-sized companies. These are like companies that have between 100 and 1,000 employees. They consider that mid cap. Actually, it's between, I think, 500 and 5,000 or something like that. And then if they have more than 5,000 employees or more, I think it's something like that, then they're considered large cap. These are like the really big companies in the United States. So here's another growth ETF, VUG. Let's see, which one did I used to own? I think I still own one of these. Anyway, you can tell like the fact that I'm not certain which one that I own. I think it's this one. That's the one I own some of this one. But darn it, look at that fee. It's up to 0.10. I like the smaller the fee, the better. Anyway, oh, there it is. Let's go down here. This is one I know that I just looked at recently that I own. This one, VOT. All right, I want to click on it and show you guys what am I actually invested in. I bought this stock. This ETF, exchange traded fund, which is just a basket of stocks. Let's go look at price, performance, portfolio, and management, because I want to see what stocks are in it, and they'll tell us. I want you guys to see if you recognize any of these companies. 10 largest holdings. Oh, wait. Portfolio holdings, sorry. Come on. Here it is, the VOT, this stock, or this ETF. If you were to buy this, you're buying a little piece of all these companies. You're buying this company, this company, this company. Look at them all. I don't recognize any of these names. Oh, there's Twitter. So I own some Twitter. I don't like them either right now because they've been banning political speech as well. I think free speech is the way that our country should. Everything should be free speech. Anyway, it's just, oh, look at that Zoom video. I own some Zoom. I didn't know that. This is fun. See, I own a little bit of all these companies. So that's what makes it so fun. And there's a total of 146 holdings. So if I hit next, so I own a little bit of 146 companies by owning this. All right, so enough of that. I'm getting lost here daydreaming on that. That's a lot of fun to look at because you go, hey, I own some of them. But I want us to go back to this. So the fee that I am paying it's 0.7. So I'm going to change this right up here. Change it to 0.7. Now, when I hit enter, I want you guys to check this out. This is so cool. The fee that I had in the last one is some of the average fees out there, but I like Vanguard's because they charge lower fees. Now watch how much I've saved money by buying their basket of stocks rather than some of their competitors. Ready? When I hit enter, woohoo, look at that. I saved a ton of money. And over time, okay, so my total fees, by the time I'm 60, if I invested that $2,400 at the age of 19, it is worth $127,000 at the age of 60. That's if I never invested another penny for the rest of my working career. That's not even investing every year. And so that's the point of this calculator, just to show you. I want to show you what the difference is in the fees. I'm going to hit back arrow. What was the fee at the old fee? $7,693 in fees over those years, those 40 years of investing. Whereas by shopping around, and I looked at Vanguard, by me buying Vanguard stocks, which are a lot cheaper than most other companies, what I mean by that is I'm paying less per year in fees. Look at that. From 1,000 down to 971. That's why I like Vanguard. I'm trying to prove to you guys why it's such a great stock, such a great place to buy stocks. Now, many of their competitors are starting to lower their fees because they're like, we're losing our business to Vanguard. So I'm sticking, anyway, I love to use Vanguard, and that's where I invest my real money. All right, let's pretend now, I want you guys to, let's pretend that you are going to get minimum wage for the rest of your life, and you never get a raise. So I'm just going to, okay, I want to show you what
question.
Yes.
Personally, would you work for minimum wage your whole life?
No, but I want to just show you something, that even if you're someone who is not much of a go-getter and doesn't want to, improve your salary, even if you're somebody that says, nope, I just want to work at Taco Bell for the rest of my life and just get minimum wage. I don't want any added responsibility on my job. I just want the easiest job possible. So I'm just going to work minimum wage. Actually, if you want the easiest thing, you just mooch off the government. But you guys aren't going to do that because you guys are Coronado Cougars. You're not going to just sit at home and mooch off the government. You're going to go work. it adds value to you and it makes you feel better if you're a productive part of society. So anyway, so let's pretend you are getting minimum wage for the rest of your life. And the point I'm proving, grab this little fill handle. See how it changes to a little tiny plus? The little tiny plus is a fill handle. It means it'll copy it all the way down for you, so you don't have to type it. Let's pretend until you're age 60, you just work minimum wage, but you follow this simple rule of putting 10% away. Check it out, 10%. And now I want you guys to go to your worksheets and do that. And then go tell me how much you got. How much is your net worth by the time you're 60 years old? Should be over $1 million.
$1,387,177.
Nice. Thanks for speaking up. That's what everyone else should see also, and I put it on my screen. So if you guys look back at my screen, what I'm showing you is you just have to do one thing. You have to be disciplined. Every single paycheck you get, you've got to go take 10% of it away. So now every single bank out there will let you do this. You can have as many sub accounts for your savings account. You go in there and you just say, hey, I want to make a sub account for groceries. I want to make another sub account. And the person that's going to help you, the teller, they're going to say, fine, okay, I can do that for you. Boom, boom. And they type it in the system and they make another sub account. And then when you go home and you log in and you go, hey, look at all these sub accounts I have in my savings account. So you can have 20 different sub accounts. They don't care. It's just all computerized. So here's what you do. You have one sub account that's called investments. And then every week when you get paid, or every month, whenever you get paid, when you go deposit your check, if maybe you'll have it automatically deposited into the bank, then you can just log in and go, okay, transfer 10% of my paycheck into my investments. It's that easy. And you do it right away before you start spending your money on other things, because that way, so they call that paying yourself first. And then all your living expenses and everything else get paid after. And if you do that, you're disciplined about this, even if you're someone who only makes minimum wage, I'm trying to prove to you, you'll still be a millionaire by the time you're 60 years old. This is a guarantee. I would bet my life on it that this is how it works, because I've seen other people do this, that if you just follow this one rule, 10%. So now I sound like that guy that was a guest speaker at my high school when I was your age. He was just, you guys are all going to be rich. You're all going to be rich. And everybody's like, what the heck? This guy's loony. But it's so true if you just do this. And then he just said, the only reason people aren't rich is because they're not putting 10% away. And that's the trick. So now here's what I want you guys to do. And then I'm going to ask you guys to show your screen to me. I want you guys to go down and pretend like you start off at minimum wage, put in 24,000. But then I want you guys to start increasing this number based on what you think the raises you're going to get. And if you're someone who says, hey, Mr. G, I'm not going to make 24, I'm going to put a 0 in here, watch. Put a 0. I'm not going to make 24 because I'm going to college. I'm going to get a 4-year degree. And I'm going to expect to start making money right around here. And let's say my first job, I make $20 an hour. What's 20 plus 20? 40. Oh, so you're saying, I think I'm going to make 40 grand coming out of school with the degree I have. When I'm 22, I should start off at 40. And then you say, and every year I expect to get a little bit of a raise. Watch this. I'm going to use a formula. You don't have to be, but I'm going to type in equals. And I'm going to say equals the cell above me, and I click on it, and it puts a little formula. The equals tells the Excel that I'm going to do, that I wanted to use this as a calculator. So it says equals the cell above me. Then I use the star key. Geez, this funky keyboard doesn't have the right keys on it. I got this. So I'll do a shift 8. Okay. And I'm going to multiply it by, let's say that I get a 3% raise every year. I'm just going to assume. So I type in 0.03. 3% raise. Oh, whoops, I forgot to do a 1.03, didn't I? Okay, let's click up here where I can edit. 1 means the 100%. I get the $40,000 added to the 0.03. So 1.03 means I got a 3% raise. Hit enter. Ooh, look at that. So now I'm making $41,200 by the second year when I get a raise. And so now I put a little bit more away. So now what I'm going to do is take this fill handle and fill that formula down, and it's going to keep increasing me by 3%. Let's see what happens by the time I'm 60. What's my wage? Woo, I'm making $122,000 a year. That's just with a 3% raise starting off at $40,000 a year. It's not too bad. Now, if you say, Mr. G, 3% isn't realistic, on average, some years you might get a 5% raise. Sometimes you might get a 2% raise. So if you want to be more conservative, you say, okay, then a 2% raise. And then you use the fill handle and fill that guy down. And woohoo, look at that. $2 million. You just follow that one rule. That is to take 10% every year, everything you make, 10% and put it away in investments. And buy ETFs. These are exchange traded funds. They're just baskets of stocks. Basket meaning a variety of different stocks.
How do you do the raise, the 3% raise again?
Okay, ready? Yeah, because most of you had your screen on your own and you weren't watching. So here, I'll do it again if the rest of you guys want to watch, those of you who weren't watching. So I'm going to just delete this out and pretend this is what you've got sitting there. Okay, I'm going to type in an equals on my keyboard, equals, click on the cell above it. Now don't go back and forth yet, just watch what I do. Equals the cell above it, so see the formula. Then I use my Shift 8 for the star key to multiply, times 1.02 if I get a 2% raise every year. And I'll leave that formula sitting there on the screen. And then when you hit enter, you guys will see it. So everyone go do that. And then I want you guys to put in the numbers you think that you're going to be earning over the next years. And you don't have to just give yourself a 2% raise every year. You could hit enter here. I could change this. I could go down and I say, you know, maybe my boss, maybe by the time I'm in my 50s, I'll start relaxing and I'm not going to be making as much money. I'm not going to take on as much responsibility and I don't get raises. If you want to say that maybe, you know, you level off somewhere here. But most people still get raises, even till the day that they retire. Their companies or their jobs will give them somewhat raises. But there are hiccups along the way. What does that mean? Not hiccups, but changes in life. For example, from one company to another, when you move companies, some of you might say, yeah, but if I after working 5 years for one company and then I find a really good opportunity, let's say down here when I'm 28, I might be offered 50 grand. I'll get a $5,000 raise. So I'm going to go to this new company that's offering me 50 grand. So you type in 50 and then you could, and so forth. And maybe you estimate, I get laid off one year because there's a downturn in the economy. So then you decide to say, okay, so maybe I have to take a job making only 45 here just to make ends meet, because I got laid off there and I found another job. The only thing I could find was something making a little less. And then I started growing it back up from there. And then, I found a job here. Gave me a good raise. The economy's booming. The companies are hiring and they need people and I've got the skills they need. So they just offered me a $10,000 raise to go to that company and so forth. That's realistic. Then you're still looking at about 2 million. No matter which way you slice it, you guys should end up with around 2 million, or at least 1 million. All right, now I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to start asking you guys to share your screens.